Do you have a heating, ventilation, or air conditioning problem and need it fixed as soon as possible? Has it been a long time since the last time you have the HVAC system in your home or at your office maintained? Finding the right HVAC contractors can sometimes be hard. You need to make sure that they have the knowledge, skill, and experience to provide you with complete repair and maintenance services. That's why we're here to help. With a highly trained, licensed, insured, and experienced team of technicians, we're proud to offer the best services in the field. From sale, installation, to repair and maintenance, we take each project with care and with a focus on open communication and getting the job done right the first time. Maintaining the ventilation, air, and heating systems in your home or office is the key to the longevity of your units and effective energy savings. So don't risk your money on an ineffective HVAC system. Call us today.
Good morning. This is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV. It's time for the Lincoln Community Center Report, and with us this week, Shane Carter.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it seems like it's awful soon to talk about this, but summer's going pretty quick, and it's your back-to-school bash.
Yes, and we started planning, Clint, we're trying our best to plan earlier every year because, going into, I guess it'll be my fifth time doing this. I feel like the better you prepare and the better you organize months prior to, the better event goes. And we're setting the annual back-to-school bash this year for August 21st from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We've pushed the time back a little bit. We had some people that, there's conflicts with church and stuff like that because it is on a Sunday. And then also, in order to get set up, we've got to start early, and we want to be more prepared. So what I want to encourage all of our listeners and anybody listening to the program is that we're starting sign-ups next week, and what you need to do to register your child to get free school supplies, to sign up to get a haircut, or if it's just maybe to get a few school supplies and maybe get a meal, contact the Lincoln Community Center at 937-335-2715, and that's for any children school-aged. We've even serviced kids outside of the city of Troy, so if your child goes to Miami East or Covington or Tip City or Piqua, even Piqua, we'll make sure that we take care of them. We're thankful. We've had a lot of support in the past from private donors, ITW, Hobart, Abbott Labs, the Rotary Club, Troy Community Radio, you name it. I mean, all these businesses and churches and organizations and groups have brought the supplies to us and made monetary donations that have allowed us to really service about 200 kids every year.
Wow.
And, we're planning for that. It will be a hot day in the gym. We do have barbers and hairstylists lined up for upstairs where we have
That
some.
is so great that all of this takes place. You pointed out before the importance of the kids having what they need to go back to school.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I mean, I just speak from experience. My parents both worked really hard to try and provide for us. But I remember days going to school, I had brothers and sisters, and I'd go to school, you have your new shoes, or maybe you have a new backpack, but you don't have a haircut. Or maybe you have a haircut with a backpack, but you don't have the right supplies. And anybody that was kind of in Meyer, I think you remember where you would they put your name up on the board of teachers. I don't know if they still do this. Like
if you didn't have.
Yeah, like you still need to bring your binder, or you didn't bring your Kleenex for the science room, or, you don't have your protractor or compass. And, not only does it single you out, and I know teachers have to get the stuff, get you to bring your stuff in, it kind of gives you a lack of boost of self-esteem and confidence if you don't have the right tools. Me and you have talked about it before. If you have the right tools, you can do any job.
Yes.
Without the right tools, you can't do much.
You're going to struggle.
You're going to struggle. So we want to provide that. We want to remove the financial obstacle or obligation for parents. And just parents come out and hang out, get you a hot dog, a hamburger. The kids will go through the line, get their supplies, get a haircut if they want, and it'll really be a good day. And just to recap, that's August 21st from 2 to 4. And give us a call in the main office at 335-2715. We'll need the name of your child, the school they attend, and their grade.
That's excellent. You can do that for the kids. And that the community comes together to help you do that.
And I was going to tell you that. The center, when I took over in 2011, we couldn't do that. That was very far-fetched. We would not only need funding, we didn't have the staffing. Quite frankly, I don't know if we had the perception in the community that 200 kids would just show up. Now it's turned into a thing where one of the things my dad used to say, if you build it, they will come. Well, now they come, and we need to be prepared. And without the support of people like yourself and the community, we wouldn't be able to fund this. We're talking about probably somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 in donations and supplies and the food and that really cover all that, because backpacks are expensive. We've went away from, you can buy your $12 backpack, but realistically, the kids, after 4 days of carrying books, straps broke.
Right.
They can no longer carry it. So backpacks are expensive. Calculators are expensive. There's a lot of things. And if anybody wants to get the list of things we need, you can contact us, myself at scarter@lcctroy.com, and I can email over the wish list, and we'd love to continue to add to it.
That's great. How about your youth basketball program? How's that going?
Well, we're starting today, Clint, and I'll tell you, the gym is muggy. It's hot. It's warm. We've got fans running, but, it's going to be good. We've got a lot of kids that are new to the league, a lot of kids that have been doing it a long time. I want to thank a lot of sponsors that have stepped up again this year. And really my plea to our listeners today is, because it's the summer and people are busy and traveling and vacations, we really could use some adult volunteers that can stop down anytime to help, blow a whistle, help run the clock, sweep the floor, help organize kids, put them in layup lines, teach, coach. So anybody that's a coach, a young kid that's familiar with basketball that wants to be a part of that, you give us a call, and we'd love to put you to work. And that basketball league will run from today until the first Saturday in August.
How many teams did you wind up with?
We've got now 2, 4, 6. We've got about 12 teams, and we've probably got somewhere around 100 kids.
Wow!
So it's going to be a good summer. We're going to work a lot this summer. Last 2 summers we've done just strictly playing and letting them play. I really want to be hands-on, and that I want to work on stopping the games, teaching fundamentals, and really focusing this summer on getting them ready for the winter basketball. So
Gotcha. Now, with that said, you were talking earlier, with the back-to-school bash, that you're servicing kids outside of the area as well.
Yes.
When it comes to the basketball, is that just kids from Troy, or you've got kids from all?
We do. We really do. We've got kids from, I'd say the summer league's probably Miami County. We've probably got some from Shelby County. We do have some from Shelby County as well, but we've got kids, Lehman, so Sydney, kids from Covington, Miami East, around the Casstown area. We've got a couple kids that come up from Tip City and Piqua. So we've been very fortunate. Our league has really outreached a lot of people, and we're really thankful of that.
That's great.
Yeah, it is.
That's great. Farmers market going on this morning over on Cherry Street. How has the farmers market been going for you and with the community garden, too?
We've been doing well. I'll tell you, we've deposited probably in the bank now. I mean, after paying our kids, we've probably deposited somewhere over $200. What Andrew set up is a nice system. So the kids get a third of the proceeds that they bring in from selling them. So cause they get up at 7 and help clean the vegetables and help them load it up. So they make some money. Then we put some money back into the farmers market and some into the LCC operational budget so that we can continue to fund them, the garden program. We can allow the center to recoup kind of some of the costs we've put into it. And the nice thing about it is it's just getting started. I mean, our vegetables are really starting to really now take off. So as the summer progresses, I'd encourage anybody who comes to the farmers market, we should have a pretty diverse group of produce. I know now we've got our onions and we've got peppers and we've got some things that are doing really well, but continue to come down to our booth, and I hope that not only you're able to take in some of our vegetables, any of our listeners that are in need of fresh produce, it really truly is a community garden, and if you contact us and want to go out and pick some vegetables, we'd allow for that. And I have to thank you, Clint, because now the cash register that you were able to donate to us, we have real good record keeping, so it's easy to present to our treasurer, and I think that it's going to continue to grow and take off. And what I'd like to see is eventually where Andrew and myself can empower a young adult, maybe 18 years old, that can load up the truck themselves, a Lincoln Center kid.
Kind of take charge.
Yes, because, Andrew does an awesome job, but, when you empower one of those young leaders to do it, then what happens is you get one behind them that's maybe an 8th grader that does it for 3 or 4 years, and you can kind of pass on the torch. And that's something I'm really looking forward to. I'll tell you, one of the neat things I've really liked about this year with the garden, I've seen some parents encourage their kids to come out on Fridays and start picking vegetables and volunteering and getting dirty and learning about it. And the parents have explained that I've listened to them. They want to teach their kids the ethic of work. And I think that's something that's been lost with a lot of young people. And I thank God that I had a dad and a mom and a grandma that taught me, the importance of being able to go work and get your hands dirty. But then teaching the kids, too, they're growing healthy produce in their own backyard. So,
all right. Let's talk a little bit about your men's prayer breakfast. How's that?
It's going good. I tell you, we took June and July off. Obviously, June for the Strawberry Festival, July because the July 4th hit right there on last Monday. But we're starting back on August 6th at 7:30. I'll tell you, since moving it to the center, I've heard great reviews. Some of the people that have been able to be a part of this for 30 or 40 years, I know the mayors came down and always attended. They've said that they think the community center is kind of a neutral ground or an epicenter for all different types of people to come. So it's nice to see a diverse group there on Saturday mornings, and encourage any of our listeners to come out August 6th at 7:30. Really have a great breakfast, good fellowship, and a good message kind of to start the weekend off.
All right. You've been working with the house next door. That's
Yes.
where you're doing your art with Karen
Yes,
Perk.
and it's been great. I mean, Karen's been awesome, but to have that separate space that, number one, is separate from balls bouncing and people lifting weights and maybe people coming in to find out about jobs, it's kind of just it's secluded, and it allows for the kids to focus a lot better. And what I've learned is that when they're in an environment like that, there's less distractions. We get a lot more done. So, number one, I'd say that any listeners that want to get their kids involved in a really good art program for the rest of the summer, contact our main office at 937-335-2715. And I'd also say we've got kind of three options in that. The kids are doing art sometimes after the summer lunch program, and then they're also doing it in the evenings with the program that was funded through Hainer, and then once a month. And also we have our extension of our art program that we funded through the Troy Foundation with our grant that meets once a month. So really there's three opportunities for the kids to do art. And also I'd have to thank Mrs. Luring, Andy's mom. She's been taking the kids once a week to the library to use the community room. They've been studying art and doing some art. So this summer's really been a great opportunity to expose the kids to the arts.
Wonderful. You're also doing registration for the after-school program.
Yes, and that's very, very important. I'll tell you, in my mind as the leader of the center, I believe that education has directly impacted and affected so many of our kids that and one example I'll give you is this. Bailey Williams, he's on staff. He's a senior, just graduated from Troy. Bailey is heading to Ohio University on a full academic scholarship based on his academic and merit. And I explain that to the kids every day. I was fortunate enough to go and play on a full scholarship because of football. I was nowhere academically where Bailey is. And I say that with this. Whenever Bailey started working at the center, he became a role model for a lot of our young people. And I think a lot of the kids still to this day want to be LeBron James and they want to be, the basketball players. But Bailey, being at the center every day on a grassroots level, has influenced a lot of our kids to really, really want to do well academically. And why I think the after-school program is so beneficial is, number one, a lot of parents are working after school. So kids necessarily, they walk home, or they go to their babysitters, maybe they eat a snack, they hang out with their friends. We pick them up at school and get them back to the center. And we also provide that snack free of cost, but we have a lot of good tutors that are skilled retired teachers that can help with math and science and stuff. And I know I've shared the numbers, and I don't want to rant on and on, but I mean, last year we probably had 40 kids in our program, and we seldomly see D's or F's. We had a lot of kids on the honor roll, and the program has spoke for itself in that a lot of kids that have came and stuck with it, we've seen them work their way up the ladder to where a lot of them now don't even need our assistance. They come and stop in, hey, how you doing, print off their report card. And I'm really proud to know that a lot of the kids that have been in the program for 3 years are honor roll students, and a lot of them are student athletes involved in extracurricular. But it makes me most happy to know that this year, any parent that wants to sign their kid up, we'll have an orientation, and I'll put that on the Facebook and make sure I get to you, Clint. But it'll be the Thursday before school starts, and it's free as long as the kids are able to, parents are able to fill out the emergency contact information. We can pick the kids up here in the Troy City school area, and the parents can pick them up by, say, 5 or 5:15 every afternoon. If those three things can be taken care of, we can really provide good tutelage to the kids. And thanks to the Troy Foundation, we now have, the computers, the resources, everything from our dictionaries, Chromebooks that the school system has provided. So this program will really take off, I believe, and it's free of charge, open to any kid in the Troy City School District, really grades K to 12.
It's amazing the difference that the community center is making with these kids' lives.
And I hope so. And I'll tell you, Clint, one of the things that we've sat down and done, and have done this past since the summer started, we've started a group. We call it our men's group and Men of Action of what we're calling ourselves, and we're meeting every Wednesday. So we met this past Wednesday, and we talked to the kids about, we usually have 2 words, and this past week was obedience and integrity, and really talking to the kids about, what we influence them with at the center is important, but when they go home and they watch social media and they watch the news and they get on Twitter and Instagram and the Vine and all this crazy stuff I have no clue about, they see stuff that really necessarily is not a good influence to them. So I'm hoping if the kids come to the center 5 hours a day in the summer, we can provide positive influences to them that whenever they see things out in the world, they're able to say, you know what, know right from wrong. And one of the things I do know is that I have seen improvement in behavior. I've seen improvement in the way we're talking to our elders and adults. And I've seen a lot of kids taking a step out and reaching out and wanting to do something to help somebody else. So that makes me very happy. And I think that if we continue to do that as a community, policing our children in terms of holding them accountable and wanting them to be productive citizens, it'll definitely make Troy and the entire world a better place.
People always talk about, boy, I wish it was like, kind of going back in time. like it used to be when you and I even grew up, and we're certainly getting there.
When Aunt Mary would grab you off the porch by your T-shirt and say, "Hey, Shane, boy, I saw you throw that rock at that kid. Sit down right here, and I'm calling your parents."
Yeah,
that type of
or
thing.
it could have just been a neighbor. Now,
Yes.
so many times in a neighborhood, there's no real neighboring that's going on. There's
Yes.
nobody really watching out after the kids, and over at the center, that's making a difference.
Yes, we're trying to get back to that. Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Shane, thank you so much for coming over. Anything else you'd like to add in this morning?
Just a couple thank yous. I know I want to thank everybody that supported us over the years. And one of the really important things is our after school program. We've begun to take in donations, and Creative Labels has been a huge sponsor and supporter of the center, as well as Abbott Labs and the Rotary Foundation. I want to thank everybody that supported us, and I want to let them know that if anybody's looking to get involved, that August 21st date would be the best date to come down and volunteer and make a big impact. So,
all right. Hey, Shane, thank you so much.
Thank you, and Dave.
This has been the Lincoln Community Center Report with Shane Carter. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN for David Denoyer on TCTV.